Hi, folks. It is Sunday, March 22nd. It is 7:35 p.m. My name is Chris Delafave. I'm the Director of Innovative Programs for the district, and I am happy to be sharing this brief message with you guys. And I'd like to start by saying thank you to the staff, thank you to the administration, the teachers, everybody who is putting some serious time and serious work into making the lessons and making operations both fun and educational, and still having that feeling of being a tribe, right? And that's so critical. And also, all of you, moms, dads, parents, uncles, aunts, grandmas, guardians, students, this message is for everybody. It's not just for the kids, and I want to thank you for still being part of that tribe. Right? We live in an age right now where social distancing and keeping our physical distance is a necessity, but that doesn't mean we should socially disconnect. Right? That social connectedness is still a necessity of human happiness, and it's certainly a human element. And so, while it's important to follow the public health codes, and while it's important to social distance, that feeling of tribe is still a necessity. It's still something that we need to work towards and thrive with. In fact, that word tribe is a wonderful book by a man named Sebastian Junger, Junger, and Sebastian says there's three things, right, that we need to find happiness, to find purpose, right? Beyond money, beyond beauty, beyond status. Number one of those things is you need to feel competent in what you do, right? You need to feel like you got a strong sense of what you are trying to achieve. The next is you need to feel authentic, right? You need to be true to yourself, right? Whether that feels being authentic is being vulnerable with your emotions, vulnerable with your feelings, or being authentic is finding your calling and moving forward it. That's number two. The next is connecting with others, right? But it doesn't necessarily, what Sebastian doesn't say is, you have to be right next to somebody. No, it's just a feeling of being connected that's important, right? And so I urge you to do that during this time. And it's this growth mindset that I want to kind of briefly delve into, right? This time where we need to kind of expand our minds so that way we have the ability to connect on different kind of plateaus, whether they be digital or inwards. So we used to joke around at the kitchen table with my brother and sister, and we used to say, "No, no, 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 no! You think like this. You think like this. You're so close-minded. It's everything is like this. Nothing gets in." And then I would, of course, say, or my brother or sister would say, or my mom or dad would say, "No, I'm like this. Open, like an open book, like an antenna, like a satellite beaming down information to you, and open and receptive." Right? That's the idea of a growth mindset. That's the idea that we want to move forward with in all situations, not just this, but in all aspects of life. Always be learning, always be willing and receptive and open. And it's with that I want to kind of talk about three different questions that I have. Right. So this is kind of like a challenge to everybody here. And this is, again, not just for students, it's for the adults out there as well. Those three questions I'm going to follow up with you guys with on Friday. And I'll give you some more information with that in a moment. But the first question is, what are you grateful for this week? Right? Doesn't have to be anything monumental. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Right? But a gratitude practice, certainly in times where there are things that can kind of draw us downwards and inwards and into our hearts and into our minds, it's great to be grateful. It's great to be thankful. What's one thing this week that you're grateful for? Question two, what are you proud of that you've most accomplished this week? Very different than what you're grateful for, right? It's absolutely necessary to count your accomplishments, right? And celebrate them. How big or small doesn't make a difference. What are you proud of that you accomplished? And question three is, what do you plan on learning during this quarantine? So this is something I'm personally really interested in. So the idea of the growth mindset, or the Umwelt, right? The Umwelt is this perception. It's the way an organism, right, the human organism, perceives their world around them. right? It's always be learning, right? The idea that you were like that sponge and you want to take things in, right? So that way you could share again. What is it that you're going to be learning during the quarantine? Right. So I have a couple things that I certainly have on my list that I'll share. And so I leave you with those three questions. And I will link to those three questions as well. I'll put some comments in here so that way they're in the Herald, so that way you guys can see what those three questions are again. On Friday at 3 p.m., Friday, 3 p.m., I'm going to be sharing with you a Zoom connection. I don't want to say meeting, but it's a Zoom meeting, Zoom connection. I've been doing this with my friends and my family, and it's amazing. You feel like you were right there in the room with people. This is open to family. This is open to friends. You guys and gals can join, and I hope to kind of discuss some of these thoughts with you in more depth. But also, this is going to be a weekly thing. I'm going to be speaking with you about. Whether they be challenges or questions or topics that are interesting to me that I think might be interesting to everyone. And I hope that you join. It's voluntary, and it is entirely up to you if you would like to join that Zoom meeting. But I do hope you come, because you grow that humanness, right? You grow that connection. So until then, I will be posting this in the Herald, and you could follow along with the YouTube channel for innovative programs. And I will also be putting out every Friday a 5-bullet Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 things are things that I'm interested in, things that I'm doing. What could be takeaways for you from our conversations, from these short YouTube clips. And nonetheless, I really hope that each of you are thriving and still staying connected. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you on Friday. Take care.